Ian, you must be really pleased with that. I mean, such a resolute performance. They worked really hard.
Worked unbelievably. I thought it was a great performance from us in two different aspects as well. I thought the first half, the football we play is sensational. Some of the patterns, the movements, the chances we create was fantastic to watch. Second half, I thought we started it well. Towards the end, we got a little bit caught into going long. And played a little bit into their hands, but I thought we restricted them to very little chances through really, really good defending, and we still created a lot at the other end, so I thought it was a well-measured performance.
Yeah, I was going to say, in a way, is it more satisfying than the weekend's win? Both 3 points, but at the weekend, Dagenham were getting a lot of chances, and fortunately the keeper was brilliant. Tonight, yeah, like you say, limited those chances.
Yeah, I thought our off-ball work was brilliant tonight. And I thought credit to Connell, Lacey and Chicks at the back. I thought they were immense. I mean, Lacey was dead again, but I said, you're not coming off this time, you're staying on. So he was dragged himself through it, and I thought he was brilliant in the game. And credit to Dion, played slightly out of position, but I thought he was great. And we play against a really good team. We should remember how good they've been this season, how hard they are to break down. And I thought we created a lot of chances against one of the best organised teams in the league.
As I was coming down the stairs then to come pitch side, somebody said, why don't we ever just score the second goal? It would make it all so much more relaxing. I imagine you're thinking a similar sort of thing.
Yeah, it would be much more enjoyable if we could, but at least when you win, it's a nice tense finish. And but no, we went to go for the second. You know, we didn't want to sit back. We kept creating chances, but sometimes when you don't take them, you can get caught with something. But then they had a few set pieces at the end, and they can always be dangerous. But I thought we just defended them really, really well tonight.
So far as the owner side of things, it feels like, and I hope I'm right in saying that the club's coming out the other side of that now, but still, how low are the fuel reserves, if you will, of those players that have battled through everything over the last week or so?
I think you could say, like Connell and Lacey particularly, fuel reserves were pretty low there. I said well done to Connell for his man of the match, and normally I think he'd be expecting a Budweiser or something, but I don't even think he fancies one of them, so he's definitely not 100%. But no, the energy was a little bit low, but I just thought the team collective really drove the performance.
Yeah, worked really hard from the front as well, and that seems to be quite a key thing out there today, is how hard Kyle Wootton and Ruben Rodriguez in particular today, they seem to really lead from the front.
Yeah, I think probably Ruben's came in with a bit of energy. He didn't play at the weekend, and I thought Woots' hold-up play was just immense tonight. You know, he linked everything together. So no, I'm really pleased with the full team performance.
It takes you up to sixth in the table. We always knew this was going to be a difficult month. It was made even more difficult by all the problems that there have been over the last few weeks, but to take 6 points out of those 2 games there, it has the table looking pretty healthy now. I wonder how much credence you give to it.
I said a while back I don't really look too much at the table this early, and I still don't, so if we're 6th, that's great. But I think it was important that we are, you know, our run-in. I think the Saturday's the last time we play a team from the top 10. Doesn't mean that our run-in's easy, but certainly I think probably more would favour. I think a lot of the teams around us have got to play each other a lot, which means that somebody's losing points, whereas we're going to play against teams further down the table. Gives us an opportunity that if we can win, somebody around us is losing. So I think it puts us in a good position for the running. I think we've just got to stay focused for a really tough game on Saturday. Then we've come out of the month that we knew was tough, but then of course we've got away to Southend, who have been excellent. We've got to go away to Torquay, so there's no easy games, but I'm pleased with the 6 points from the last 2. Puts us in good stead for a run-in.
This brings to an end as well that run of Saturday, Tuesday games that seem to have gone on for eternity, and as things stand, there's only one Tuesday night game left this season, which is at the end of April at Dover. How relieved are you, to not have to look at me and Lee Curtis every Tuesday, but to have a bit of time on the training ground and to get back into a pattern of, you know, sort of actual rest and recovery?
Yeah, that's good. To get weeks in between, it means we can work on a little bit more on the training pitch, and we can make sure that we manage the players through that. So hopefully we're much fresher when we go into the games at the weekend. So yeah, it's been a lot of fixtures lately, and it's felt pretty relentless. And yeah, we'll be glad to maybe have a free week to work on stuff on the training ground and go back to some of the details that we want to tidy up on.
Of course, still a few players missing this evening. Cal Roberts, Kyle Cameron, Eli Sam's back, but on the bench and not featuring. What is the kind of general status of those players? How long will they be out for, and when can we expect them back?
I think we'll check with Kyle Cameron tomorrow. We'll just take another scan just to see how the progress has been with the other players. Yeah, Eli's fine, but he obviously missed 3 games through illness. Kind of came back. He wasn't great after the game. He played 45 and he wasn't feeling brilliant after that, so it took it out of him a little bit. And tonight, really, I didn't. The game was going so well, I didn't feel the need to change. So I think we've got fresh players that are there if we need them. But right now, the team's performed excellently. So it's also a case of win your place back.
Yeah, and just finally, I spoke to an old school friend of yours up in the stand earlier on, Jeff Peters, who's also a football commentator and reporter in his own right, and he said that he brought your primary school teacher to the game this evening, and you hadn't seen him for maybe 30 years. Unbelievable to think that it's been that long, because you can't be that old. But a grade, what do you think he would give your side and your team this evening, your primary school teacher?
I think normally when I've read back on my reports, they used to say can do better, but I think today was a decent. Let's give it a B+. I'll take that. Not quite an A. There's still work to do. We should have scored the second, but yeah, I reckon he's there. I'll go up and see him in a minute, and I'll let him grade it.
Good stuff. Appreciate your time. Well done tonight.